Shalom Aleichem again. This is the second Chelek in Parshas Shmini, because we didn't make a recording for 3 or 4 weeks. So now we're doing a second one in Shmini because you have a lot of things to make up for. And this week is going to be Parshas Shmini. I told you in the first tape of Shmini that this is a unique year. We're reading Shmini Shmono times, 8 times. And Shmena, that means it's going to be a year with a lot of harvest. Shmena means rich. How do we do that? Because the week before Pesach, on Shabbos afternoon, we read Shmini. And that week leading up to Shmini, we read Monday and Thursday Shmini. And on that Shabbos, we read afternoon Shmini. And then, because that was Tzab, and later afternoon was Shmini. Then the next week was Pesach. It was the first day Pesach was Shabbos. We read Shmini afternoon. Then the next week was again Pesach. We read Shmini and Shabbos afternoon. And then that's this last week we read Monday and Thursday. So 4 Monday and Thursdays and 3 Shabbos and 7. Now this Shabbos we're going to read the whole 7. That's 8. When Shmini comes Shmono, there's Shmena. That means a very big harvest. How do you know it's going to happen? Because from last Sukkot to this Pesach, with a lot of rain in Eretz Yisrael. So we hope it'll be a tremendous harvest. Shmini, Shmono, Shmena. Does that always happen when Friday night is Pesach, which means the next week also will be Pesach, the last day? Does it always happen when Friday night is Pesach and the last day is also Pesach? Lav Davka, because a lot of things have to fit in there. First of all, it has to be Pesach on Shmini. Number 2, it can't be a leap year. Number 3, Kislev and Teves. Depends on the Chassid 29:30, or 30:29, or 29:29, or 30:30. So the last time it happened that Shmini was read Shmono times was 14 years ago, 1998. Now it's 2012. So Tavshin Ayin Beis and Samach Nun Ches 58, 57, 58. Interesting. The next few years, you're going to have Friday night on Pesach. Every 2 or 3 years, the next 25 years. But that doesn't mean Shmini is going to be on that Seder. When it comes out, Friday night is Pesach, and it's Shmini, and it works out. I have to find out, the last time we had Friday night on Shmini, which means we read Shmini Shmoda times, was that a Shmena? Was that a big harvest? That you have to call the Israeli Weather Department. Anyhow, that's interesting. Now let's continue in the Parshas Shmini. As you know, the first part is about dedication of the Mishkan and the 2 dead sons of Aaron. The last part, Shishi, is about 40-some pesukim on animals you can eat and can't eat. Birds, fish, animals, chayas. Let's just discuss this a minute. Moshe said to Aaron, I knew this house, the Mishkan, had to be dedicated with the life of some human being. I thought it was me or you, Rashi says, but I see these 2 sons, none of them are greater than you and I. It says in Rashi. So Aaron Vayidom, he was silent, didn't cry. He's a Kohen Gadol the first day, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. He's a Kohen Gadol. He has to do the Karbanos the first time. He was silent. So I said in the other video, why does it say Vayishtok? He was silent. What's the difference between Vayidom and Vayishtok? Yishtok means you're loud and then you stop. You cry and then you stop or quiet. We're talking, then you stop talking. Vayidom means you never even said a word. In fact, domain, inside of you, you were inanimate, like you had no negative feelings to Hashem. Yishtok means you control yourself. You stop your outcry. But Yidom means even you have no inner cry, no complaint. Sad, yes, but no inner complaints. By Yidom Aaron. So I said in the last tape, who was greater, him or David? David says, the man Zimecha Chavav Lo Yidom, I will not be quiet, even though I lost his son, David. So it says in Gemara, it's very great what it says about Aaron, but it's even greater what it says about David. The man Yizamecha Chavav Lo Yidom, I will not be quiet. Go to the last tape. Do you mean to tell me that David HaMelech came 1,000 years later is greater than Aaron HaKohen? In one thing, yes. This could be possible, because you know Moshe Rabbeinu was greater than Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov in Nevuah. But he was not greater in Emunah, because Hashem said when Moshe asked the question, how will they believe me? I got to give him proof. The Gemara says, Chaval Dovden, woe about those that have gone, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Lo Mishtach, we'll never forget them. They never asked me to prove anything. When Abraham had to buy a grave from Ephron for 40,000 shekels, 400 times 1,000, 10,000 a year. So it was 40,000 shekels. He didn't complain. It's his country. Why do you got to get ripped off for a hole in the ground? Or Yitzchak when he dug wells and they policed him, covered him up. Or Yaakov when he had to run away from his homeland to Mitzrayim. No complaints. Moshe said, no, they won't believe me. And the Munah, the others were greater. In the Vuam, Noah was greater than Moshe. In a certain way, David was greater than Aaron. In a certain way. And Aaron was greater than David in many ways. Who was greater, Boaz or Yosef? Boaz had to control himself all night with Ruth crawled into the bed of the Gadol Hador, Boaz. And Yosef, with Ashes Potiphar 1 minute, and he ran away. So they said Boaz is greater. Boaz, he has the strength. So you see, sometimes latter people can be greater in a certain thing. Now let's go into this one question. Why do you need the Bishkan dedicated by human sacrifices? So Moshe said, I knew it would be you or me, but now see it was them, they're greater. Why do you need that? 2 reasons. Hashem doesn't need anybody to help him. They took an Eishes Zorah, they were not told, Lo Tzivosam, they were told not to do it, or they were not told to do it. They were told, no, don't do it, or they were not told to do it, and they did it on their own. They were overcome by fanaticism, extremism. They paid with their life. You can't do anything on your own. Everything has to be Torah min Shemayim. Here's your uncle's Gadol Hador, Moshe Rabbeinu. Why don't you ask him? Lo not lo Eitzah. They didn't have Eitzah. Why don't you ask your father, the Kohen Gadol? No, they were moved, possessed by a spirit, by a movement. They went into something Kodesh Kadosh. Something they went into Mizbech HaZohav, and they brought a Ketorah. So they're not the Kohen Gadol. It's not Yom Kippur. Who asked you? Are you the Kohen Gadol? You do you on your own. You're moved by your own personal. That's Chaim. You cannot make up or create a new halacha. If not written in the Torah, it's usher. You can't add or subtract to the Torah. You can come up with svarim, chidushim, explanation, brand new explanations of things that exist, but you can't make an extra thing. You can't put 5 strings in it, sitzes, or 3. You have to do exactly what they tell you. They chayiv misa because Hashem doesn't need anybody to help him, to show how holy the Mikdash is. And he doesn't need anyone to show how severe the Averis are, like Tzolov who gathered wood on Shabbos, the second Shabbos, to show the people, I want to die Kiddush Hashem, to show how severe Chil Shabbos is. I'll die, to show the people, Chil Shabbos is also, Hashem doesn't need helpers to show you how severe is the Isser, and doesn't need helpers to show you how holy is the Kedusha. And Hashem told Moshe, warn the people of Mount Torah twice. They're going to break rank and rush them out. They're going to be possessed by an exotic spirit of tremendous devekas. And they said, we want to see our God even we die. Hashem says, I don't want that in this is not Torah. This is fanaticism. This is extremism. This is not Torah halacha. This is man-made religion. Misa. Mount Torah, keep them away. Yiplemen Rav, even one person will be Rav. No one can go out of the bounds of the halacha. The halacha has daled amas, no innovation. You can't create new dinim. By the Egel, they were possessed by this thing that Moshe is dead. We have to make it intermediary, and they did it Shem Shemayim, executed 3,000 people one day. You can't play around with the Torah. The 2 sons of Nodavah were tzaddikim gemurim. No, they wanted to bring in the dova. No one asked them. Avihu, he's greater, he's equal to his father. I know better, I'm so possessed. Well, if you're possessed, that's called avodah zarah. By his spirit, you can't be possessed. You can have a strong movement, feeling, and you check out, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. So here comes the sons of Aaron, they died. The grandson of Aaron also was not asked. And he did a canoistic act, and he was praised. Pinchas, married man, made up for the 2 unmarried men. A half and a half is 1. Unmarried. And one of the 6 reasons that they were killed because they weren't married. Since when does the Kohen have to be married? There's no such halacha in our Torah. Kohen Gadol, not a Kohen Hedia. If they would have been married, they would have maybe for a second thought it over. Maybe I'll take I'll take a rash movement. I'll be killed. My wife will be an Ammon, the kids will be Somim. You'll probably think that over before you do it. And besides, you have an Eish Kosher, your wife, you don't need the Eish Zara. That's one reason. Number 2 is to prove that the Beis Hamikdash is mechaper for shogeg, not for mezid. This is premeditated. No, only karbanos, only for shogeg. All karbanos only come for shogeg, never for mezid. You would do a mezid, do tshuva. You can't bring a korban. Korban is you act like a behemoth, so you bring a behemoth. An animal acts by instinct, so you acted by instinct. You didn't know, you were sloppy, you didn't look it up. Your fault. You did it by shogeg, you bring a korban chatos. You're a sinner. You gotta know. Mezid never. There's 4 exceptions. We learned in creases recently. It's swear in Bezdin, Shvur Shav, Shvur Kodam, and it's Mezid. You did it, then you change your mind, you did tshuva, so you bring a korban chatos because maybe it really wasn't. Maybe you thought what you said in court was right. Maybe it's a shogeg. Maybe you weren't so sure. Anyhow, 99% of the time you never bring korban for mezid. So that takes care of that. Now let's go into Shishi, the behemoths, and chayas that are kosher to eat. He goes into animal, fish, birds. No fish. Animals, birds, and shrotzim, no fish. Wait a minute, no, I'm sorry. He goes into, there's one thing he's missing here. He goes into, we'll get to that in a minute. He goes into, what was that? He left one thing out. He doesn't mention the name of dogim. He mentions the names of animals and of birds, but he doesn't mention the name of fish. Just snap your bekaskesed. We'll get to that in a minute. Someone asked me, by the way, why in doing the month of Nisan now, we don't say Tachnun. Whenever you don't say Tachnun, you shouldn't say El Erech HaPayim before you take out the Sefer Torah, but we do. El Erech HaPayim we never say when we don't say Tachnun, but now we don't say Tachnun, and we do say El Erech HaPayim in Nisan. Why? Why is it that when you don't say Tachnun, you don't say El Erech HaPayim, but in the month of Nisan you don't say Tachnun, you still say El Erech HaPayim? Because the answer is, look at them, Beis Yaakov, Rabbi Yaakov Emden, Avudraham, they explain the davening. They say that you have to have Chav Dalid Tzerufei Ado. You have to say it because you have to use Hashem's name, Aleph Dalid Nun Yud, 24 different ways. Chav Dalid, 24 Tzerufei, combinations of Aleph Dalid Nun Yud. This is something that most people don't understand. Yud Kei Vav Kei is also a 4-letter word. Is Chav Dalid ways to write Yud Kei Vav Kei. There's 24 ways to write Yud Kei Vav Kei and 24 ways to write Ado because there's 4 letters. Has something to do with El Erech HaPayim Rav Chesed V'Emes because it has 26 and the other one has 25. Comes out 50, which is really 48 and 2 with the Ado and Yud Kei Vav Kei. Now, what does that mean? Tzerufei Shem. So, people who learn math understand what Chazal mean. It's called permutations. Aleph Daled Nun Yud is 65 gematria. We're not talking about that. We're talking about any 4-letter word or any 4-letter number. You could arrange the 4 letters in 24 different ways. How do you know? It's called a permutation. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. If it's 5, it would be 120 ways. Because it's 24 times 5, 120. If it was 6, it will be 6 times 120, 720 ways. You could write Aleph Daled Nun Yud or Yud Kei Vav Kei 24 different ways. Because the way you arrange a letter, the first letter 1, 2, 3, 4. You can arrange that 24 different ways. You know that? It's called permutations. And you learn math. Remember 4, P, 4, 4, take them 4 different ways. So that means 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Or 6, 2 means 6 times 5, 30 ways. Anyhow, that's why we say Kel Erech HaPayim in the month of Nisan, even though we don't say Takum, because you need the 24 ways to write Yud Kei Vav Kei, or any 4-letter word. Any 4-letter word, the permutation is 24. Because you make the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 1, the 3, the 4, the 2, the 1, the 4. You put the 1 in all different places, and 2 in all different places, and 3 and 4. It comes out 24 permutations. Anyhow, that's why we say Kel Erech HaPayim, even though we don't say Tachnim. All right, now let's go into Shisha. V'yidaber Hashem al Moshe v'al Aaron lemo. Hashem spoke to Moshe to speak to Aaron, to speak to the sons, and they should tell the Klal Yisrael about permissible food. Dabru al b'nei Yisrael lemo. Zos ha'chayo. This is the chayo. Asher tofu that you could eat. I mean, every behemoth, every fish, every living creature, birds, everything, every fish, every bird, every insect. He held it up. Hashem put it in Moshe's hand. An elephant. and the shark. That's right, and the alligator and everything, whatever that means, we don't know. Chazal said he put it in his hand, and he showed him, this is mutter, this is usr. If you eat this, it's usr, you get two averas. First of all, you didn't eat the kosher thing, you ate the trefa thing. And if you eat a cow, you did two mitzvahs. Eating the cow, you didn't eat a chazer. So everything has double. So therefore, zos achaya, this is the living creature, asher tochlu, that you could eat. Why zos? Whatever zos means, Moshe couldn't understand. Therefore, I have to show him the 6 things in the Torah, what says zos. The menorah says, look, this is how it has to look. He showed him a picture of it before he made it, because it was too complicated. The levana, because as Kezer Re'eh Kadesh, when it's like that, why couldn't Moshe figure out all his life? He saw a new moon, a little sliver. You have to point to it. And the shekel, this is what the shekel looks like. Moshe didn't know what a shekel looks like. You have to explain to Moshe, a genius, about a shekel, and about a new moon, and about a menorah, and about the 6 different things. The Shmoni Shrotzim, exactly which 8 Shrotzim are Tomei when they die. Do you know that a pig, when it's shechted, dead, is not Tomei? It's only when it's nevela it's Tomei. A kosher animal, when it's nevela, cow, it didn't shecht it, it's nevela. But if it's shechted, it's not nevela. Korbanos are dead animals. Alright, so Zos Achai, this is the living creature, Asher Tofu, that you could eat. Mikol Abahema Asher Aloris, from all the animals that are on the earth. Now we go to the behemoth parts of the Chayas. It gives you the animals that have the simonim. Kol Mafreses Parsom, a covered hoof. Shosah Shesa Pros, completely cut in 2 parts, all the way down and all the way back. Not like a camel, which is down, but not all the way back. Malas Geira, and it chews its cut. Ma'alo, brings up Geira through the Goron and re-chews it. After it went to first 2 stomachs, then it chews it, goes to the second 2 stomachs. You know, every ruminant has 4, every kosher animal has 4 stomachs, you know that. That's because it's Ma'ala Geira, that's why it has 4 stomachs. By the hema amongst the animal, also to that you can eat. Achazel lo sochel, this you cannot eat, even though it has one of the 2 signs. However, even though it has one of the 2 signs, you can't eat it. From those who bring up the Geira, the Shuda Kod, or Mafrisya Parshas, has one of the 2 signs. As a Gomel, the camel, because it is split, but it's not Male Geira. No, it's not split. It's Male Geira, but it's not split all the way back. You ever see a camel? The front part, not all the way back, it has to be vertical and horizontal. And it is Male Geira. Male Geira, who it is Male Geira Parshas, ain't Mafris, it's not split hooves. Tomei hu lachem is tomei. A shofan, a hyrax, a rock badger, a woodchuck. Mali geru, it's mali geru also. Upasha lo yafis, and it doesn't split, it has hoofs, split hoofs. Tomei hu lachem is tomei for you. That's arneves, a rabbit, angora rabbit, where you get that beautiful hair. Kimalas geru, it chews its cud. Upasha lo hifris doesn't have split hoofs. Tomei hu lachem is tomei. Now we get to the last one. It does have split hooves. It's called a chazer. It's a chazir. The Kimafris Parsu with totally split hooves. A Shosah Shesa Parsu, completely hit, vertical and horizontal back, vertical all the way back. Who gave it does not chew its cud, doesn't have 4 stomachs. From the flesh you cannot eat. Don't touch their carcass. Is tummy view. And now we get to the snapri b'kaskes, the fish. Let's leave it out for a minute. Let's look into this here parsha. This is a very interesting parsha. 40-some pasukim on animals, birds, fish that are kosher and not kosher. My. As lo sochlu, even if it has one of the signs, that's one. From this you learn a kal v'chomer. If it doesn't have any of the signs, about it or not, means all animals that have not even one sign is treif, and even if it has one sign is treif. And the third explanation is, l'rabos, you could have animals that have one siman and it's kosher. And you could have an animal that has 2 simonim of kashrus, is tomei. Depends who the mother is. Tomei, siman achas, tohor. Tomei denolid minat tahora. A pig born from a cow. They made it a pig born from a cow. The cow is kosher. We don't care about what the animal looks like inside. It could have one simon, like a chazer, it's kosher because it came from a cow. The mother determines it. Like by Yisrael, the mother determines if the child's a yid, not the father. Then you have beis simonim tameim, and it's tohor. That's a tahora hanolad minat tomei. A cow born from a pig. That's two simonim. Simonim good is tomei. So here, achmi, there is a difference. You could have one tomei, one simon, and it's kosher. You can have two good simonim and tomei. Depends who the mother is. If the mother's a cow, everything's good. If the mother's a pig, everything's no good. All determines on the female, the mother. Now Rav Chaim Kanievsky says an unbelievable thing. This you have to, and this will blow your mind. This is unbelievable, is what he says. He says something here, look. It says about the gomel and the shofan and arneves and the chazir, the four animals that have one simon. It says that the gomel einenu mafris. It is not proliferating. It doesn't spread. It's not split. It says about the shofan, lo yafris. It will not split in the future. Arneves, it says, it did not. Lo hifriso. And the chazir, it says, ki mafris. It is splitting. Why do we have for the gomel? These animals have one simon. Gomel, shofan, arneves, and chazir. Why do you have the splitting hooves? One is present tense, einenu mafris, that's the camel. And shofan, lo yafrisu, it will never split in the future. And arneves means it did not, never did in the past. And chazir means ki mafris, it is splitting. Rav Chaim Kanievsky in the Sefer, Talmud the Crow, says these represent the four nations that tortured us. One is Gomel is Iraq, Babylonia, Bavel. Shofan is Poras, Persia, Islam. Arneves is the Greeks, Yavan. And Chazir is Edom, the Christians. It says about Gomel, Iraq, Babylonia, Bavel, it only lasted 70 years, you know that? It destroyed the Beis HaMikdash and then it was finished. After it destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, it lasted for 70 years. And our goals was over after 70, we went into the second bias. They were finished after 70 years. And then Vafris, it will never continue. It will be finished. Yavan. Bavel. Then comes Poras, which is Shofan, the Arneves. The badger, not Arneves. The Shofan is Islam in Iraq. La'olam la'osid, it'll be forever. This is Iran, that's going to be until Mashiach. Lo yafris, it will never break apart. It will be around till Mashiach comes. That's Shofan, Islam, Iran, Persia. Then comes Arneves, the Greeks. Lo hifrisa, it did not proliferate. It was, for one time, it was great, but it never continued. There's no Greek anymore, Greek culture in the world. There is Islam. And then comes Chazir, the Christians. Chazor is going to continue. Edom, la'osid, ki mafris, it'll continue spreading until Mashiach comes. Bovel, Poras, Yovan, Edom, Gomel, Shofan, Neves, Chazir. Gomel, Lashon Hove, Babylonia, Einenu Mafis. It is not proliferating. It stopped. After 70 years, it was destroyed. Babylonian Empire. Then comes Islam, Shofan, Islam, Poras, Lashon Osid. Lo Yafrisu will never break apart. Then Arneves, Greece, Yovan. That's the past. It did not proliferate. It was for a while, and then it disappeared. And Christians, Edom, Chazir, Lashon Osid, Mafi, is going to continue until Mashiach comes. Why were these four nations, why did they have one simon of kashrus? What does each one of these four have? Some shvach, some benefit, some maila tova that they are associated with animals that have half of the simonim of kashrus. What is good about these four nations? Does each one have one maila? Maybe that it's half kosher. What is about these four nations that are unique? I'll tell you. Bavel. Avram comes from Bavel. And Yitzchak and Yaakov, they all came from there, from Avram. Bavel has his chus. Poras. The only language you can write a Sefer Torah in besides Lashon HaKodesh is Greek. Original Greek. Yavon, that's Greek. Oh, Poras, Persia. They have him, they came from Ishmael. That's Yitzchak's brother, Avram's son. They have Zechus, the Ishmaelim, the Shofan, Islam, Iran. That is Persia, Iran. Avram came from there, from Iraq and Iran, right there on the Ur custom, on the city Ur, on that river, in the Harparos. So Gomol is Bovel, is Avram Avinu. The almost came from there. Poras, Persia, Iran. That's Islam. Ishmael, his brother Yitzchak. They believe in one God. They're monotheists. They have the idea of tznius, one God. Kanos, Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda. They're ready to die for an idea. So Bovel, Avram comes from there. They have zchus. Poras, Persia. That's the shofan. That's the badger with Islam. Because Poras, Persia. That's Islam. Then comes Yovan, Greek. Sefer Torah can be written in Greek. That's the Greeks. Then comes Edom, Chazir, Chazor. They're going to turn around and recognize the Borei Olam. Edom is Esau, Yaakov's brother. Can't help it, it's Yaakov's brother. Chazor. They're going to recognize the Borei Olam. Islam already recognized Borei Olam. Look at these. Rav Chaim Kanievsky's idea. Bovel, Poras, Yovan, Edom. Bovel means, represents the camel. That means Avram Avinu comes from Bovel. Govos. Most of the Tanoim are buried there, right? Then comes Poras, Persia, Iran. That's Ishmael. He believes in one God. He did tshuva then by Ishmael, and all the Muslims will do tshuva, it says. And he's Yitzchak's brother. And then Yovan, Greece. The Greeks write the Sefer Torah in Greek. Greek is the highest cultured religion, of the highest culture in the world. They were very brilliant. They were low lives, but they were very intellectual. You can write the Sefer Torah in Greek. Edom, that's Esau. At one moment he kissed Yaakov, he hugged him for a certain nace happened. He's going to do tshuva too. He has a certain chazor. He's going to do tshuva, and Islam has a advantage, and the Christian has some advantage. Other nations disappeared, the Buddhists and the Hindus. I know the billions of them, but they don't. Not the main players on the world scene. It's only Shmuel, Esau, Yisrael. That's how it's been for the last 2,000 years, maybe 3,000 years. Others are not major players. Okay, Rabbi side, and maybe this will hold. It's right here. I can't go any further because it takes a long time. You want to go into fish? Maybe we'll go a few more minutes. Ezet tochlu, this you can eat. V'kol asher b'mayim, what's in the water. Kol asher snapir v'kaskeses. It has snappers. You know what I mean? That's the fins. And kaskeses is scales. Even dandruff is called kaskeses scales. B'mayim in the water, which means when you take it out and the scales fall off like swordfish. Some say it's mutter because only in the water has to have it. Okay, we don't need it, but there's a shala. Snapir kaskeses b'mayim. It has to have scales in the water. B'mayim, or necholim, or freshwater fish. And salt water, we're talking about ocean fish and freshwater fish. Also, tachel, you can eat them. By the way, the animals that they give you 2 simonim, there are only 2 or 5 simonim, there's 3 more simonim. That's why it says, Kimali Geirahu, Uparsa Eina Mafris. Oh, here, hold it, no. It said, Call Mafres' Parsa, Shosah Shesa Prosos. Why doesn't it say Mali Geira? It just says Mali Geira because there's only 2 of a list of 5. Torah only gives you 2, but just 3 more. That's why it says Shosah Shesa Prosos, Mali Geira. It doesn't say Mali Geira because there's really 3 more. That lets you know. That doesn't say it. What are the other 3? Yeah. Every kosher animal has horns. Karnaim. Every kosher animal has under the tail, the skin goes horizontal and vertical. And every kosher animal doesn't have no upper teeth. The 3, and the other 2 is 5. So why is the Torah just right? Shesa Parosus or Mali Geira? If it has these 2, it has the other 5 for sure. Now, how do you tell me, an intelligent person, that cows and goats and sheep have no teeth? Well, I mean, hello, ever been in a zoo? I worked on a farm. They got front teeth. What are you talking about? Chazal say a cow does not have front teeth. You're going to tell me the moon is blue? And blue white diamonds are really blue and white? They're not white, they're not blue. You're going to tell me there's such a thing as sunrise when the sun never rises, the earth turns, it looks like sunrise? I mean, we're not stupid people, you know? When you think Chazal don't know what they're talking about, it means your brain isn't working. You know what it means? Ein lahem shinayim lamalo means they don't have any molars. They have incisors, canines, incisors to cut the grass off. They don't have to chew it because they got 4 stomachs. That's what it means. Ein lahem shinayim lamalo. They have no molars in the back and front, and the molars on the back. Why do they have to chew it? They just swallow it, and they have the 4 stomachs. That's what it means. Ein shinayim. What does it mean? It horns. Yeah, treif animals don't have horns. Only kosher animals have horns. All these wild deers with horns, that's right, they're kosher, most of them. And it has under the tail, this you have to go to a animalist who knows, and the animal, what do you call it? Animal doctor. These cows and goats and sheep have vertical and horizontal skin patterns under the tail, and no teeth, no moles on top, and horns, a maligera, and split hooves. All right, let's go further. This way you can eat everything that's in the water. Snappier, that has side fins, dorsal fins that we don't care either or. Side fins, kaskeses, and scale bamayim, bayamim in the salt water, or baracholim fresh water. Also tochelim. If it does not have snapper b'keses b'mayim, or baracholim in rivers, we call sheretz amayim. Anything that swims on the ocean, in the river, we call nevesh chaya asher b'mayim sheketz ulchem. It's disgusting. Sheketz, disgusting. Shkotzim are things that are disgusting. You know, we use 3 words: shkotzim, shrotzim, and nemosim. Remosim, shrotzim, and shkotzim. Shkat gets anything disgusting. A sheretz is something that rots, that jumps. And shrotzim and remosim, those that crawl. We got it, that's usser, the crawling things, the jumping things, those that have legs or don't have legs. Shrutz, it ruts, it runs, like these, any little sherets. And sheketz is anything that's disgusting. It could be a fish, or it could be all these crabs and things that don't have these simonim. So, the sheketz yilechem, it should become, you should feel the disgust for them. You don't have to feel disgust for chazer, but you have to feel disgust for these little things. These creepy things, you have to feel sheketz ulechem. You don't feel it. It says in Gemara, you should not have to feel sheketz against a piece of ham. Who said it has trachea, trichinosis? Maybe it's very refrigerated, very nice. And the chicken is clean. You ever seen chickens, what they eat? They have nothing to eat worms, and you eat chickens. And fish eat other fish, they're carnivorous. How come we eat fish? And it doesn't eat any shechita, and you can drink fish blood. Sheketz, if the Torah tells you it's sheketz, you have to develop a loathsomeness for it. So the Torah says, the Gemara says, don't say arayis is disgusting to me. No, it's not disgusting. It's very attractive. And don't say chazir sheketz. No, say it's very pleasant, but Hashem said no. But these things, something in water that don't have fins and scale, there should be sheketz ulachem. Should be disgusting to you. Sheketz yilachem, and it should be part of your nature. From the flesh you cannot eat, but from the bones and the fins you can. But rice, but abona asr, their corpses. If you the sheketz, nivlasum. Now fish, it's interesting. Fish, you don't have to catch them alive because you don't have to shech them. A kosher fish that's found dead, you can eat it if it just died a minute ago, whatever reason. A dead fish, sometimes you go. Sometimes people take fish and they put it out and it's dead. You didn't shecht it. They only a living animal you have to shecht, or a bird. Fish you don't have to shecht. You can have them not chaim. They're still kosher because they don't need shechita. And the dam is mutter. There's nevlosim to shaketsu, but these animals, these shrotim, crabs and eels and whatever, clams and everything, that should be disgusting. Even if you let it not die, no, you can't eat it. It doesn't have snapper because it says it doesn't have fins and scales in the mayim. Shekazulchem is disgusting. That's Eila to shaksim and oven. This is what should be disgusting to you from the birds. Lo yochlu, don't eat them. Shekas haim, sanesha, the eagle. He mentions 24 birds here. It means most of the birds are kosher, but these 24 not. Nesha, why call it eagle a nesha? Because nesha means a wing. And that has the widest wingspan. That's a Paris of vulture. That's a ozni or asprey. That's a do or the kite. That's a ayo, the vulture, lamina to his vulture family. Let's call it O raven family. Lamina to his family is many times a raven. There's basayano, ostrich. Why do you say basayano, balayano? Bas, beso, beitso. Even an ostrich egg, no. Or a young ostrich, even a young ostrich, basayano, there's a tachmos, an owl. There's a shochap, a gull. There's a nates, a hawk. Let me know you none of the hawk families. There's a kos, a falcon. There's a sholach, cormorant. There's a yanshuv, a swan. There's a tan, tinshemes, a bat. Rashi says a bat. There's a koos, a pelican. There's a rocham, a magpie. There's a chasida, a stork. Why is it treif if it's chasidas and it's a pious animal? And it says it only gives food to its own. It lets the others die. It's a chasida only to itself. It only thinks about itself. Doesn't care about the others. That's why it's treif. And for the heron, the meaning there's a duchipas, the hoopy. There's an atleif, a bat. According to others, an atleif is a bat. Ataleif is a bat. Called sheretz of all insects that fly. Haholech, that fly or walk on four. Shekazulcham is disgusting. Every bug and everything like that. 4 legs and 2 jumpers. That means 6 feet. 6 legs really means 4 legs and 2 jumpers. Holechai, it walks on 4, but it has 2 jumpers. It walks on 4. That's an insect. Ach, as that talking about the sheretz. But there's one exception. You can eat from a insect. A sheretz oaf, a creeping little flying insect. It has no jumpers. It's a locust. Taimanim have a certain Masor, they can eat locusts. Arbe is a red locust. Lamina is a salom and a yellow locust. Lamina is a chargol. This is a gray locust. Lamino is a chogov. This is a white locust. Lamina of chom. And all other sheretz over shelo arba karaglam. It has 4 legs. Shekazulcham is disgusting to you. And these you can become tummy. Kol hanogeya benivlosim yitwad, or anyone that touches their corpse is tummy till evening. So that's the least amount. That's just that one day till the evening. Anyone who carries from the nevela, Yichabis has to wash his clothes. If you carry it, if you don't touch it, you wrap it in the package, you put it on your shoulder. Tommy Ador, if you told me till the evening, any animal that splits his hoof, total split, but it's not totally split, it's split all the way down, but not all the way back. And it doesn't bring up its cud, like a chazer. To me, people are under Tommy to you. Anyone who touches them is Tommy. Well, the cap of anything walks on his paw, like a lion, a tiger, and all these animals. All creatures that walk al arba 4 legs. To me, under Tommy, a bear, a dog, a cat, an elephant, a lion, a wolf, a tiger. Largest animals. If you touch their nivlosum, your tummy. Why are you telling me I can't deal with furs? I can't have bear furs. Can't manufacture coats out of bear. And in answers for kohanim, you're telling me a Jew is never telling me if he touches a dead animal. What do you think korbanos are? They're dead animals, yeah, but the shechted. But in the nevela of a guy, you cannot touch. If it's not shechted, you cannot touch. A regular Jew could. A Tomei can't. Kohen can't. I can be in the skin business. I can manufacture footballs, which happen to be pigskin. and baseballs, horse skin, and basketballs? Can a young Kohen play football? Of course, because the skin is not anymore neveil. It's the totally dried out yavish ke'etz. It's a new bria. It's called skin hide. That's not even if it comes from pig. It doesn't make them tomei because it's not not their skin. It's dehydrated, totally processed. So young Kohen can play football or basketball or baseball if they're made with pig skin. It's totally like the yavish ke'etz. So, but at a regular Jew can get tomei. I can touch. What do you think? Touch a dead body. You want to go 3 times a year. Oh, the regel, that's not. Can't touch a dead body or a dead animal that wasn't shechted, or a dead sheretz, or a dead pig, because that's 3 times a year. But a Kohen can never touch a dead body. I don't even know since the blows anyone who carries a nevela, the blossom, which means it was not shechted. The Chavis begun to wash his clothes, even if he doesn't touch them. But Tommy, I don't even Tommy till the evening. Tommy Hulachem, they are Tommy for you. Before we get into the creeping shiratzim, I think we'll break it right now. We'll have maybe another shir on Shmini, maybe not. But now we have to end this year. And remember, this Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh, Sunday and Monday. It's called Machar Chodesh. Remember, you're going to say tomorrow, Rosh Chodesh, Machar B'Yom Rishon. You'll be laying in Haftorah tomorrow, Machar Chodesh, because Sunday and Monday is Rosh Chodesh. Okay, Rabbi Isaac, have a good week.